Look, if there's one thing in my life that gives me any sense of stability, it's top 10 lists. I am an internet clickbait whore and Watch Mojo is my spirit animal. In 2005, I was about 10 years old. I had about 20 movies in just constant circulation, and although I didn't go to the cinema, although I wasn't a film fan or a cinephile, boy, this kid knew what he liked. So welcome to the top 10, a Samuel Davis 10-year-old canon. Here's what I consider to be the best of the best in 2005. Speed round, honourable mentions. Elf. It's shit, but likeable shit. Oh my god, is that Peter Dinklage? Cheaper by the dozen. Big Mama's House 1 and 2. I don't really know what me, a small white boy from England, was getting out of these Medea movies. But, that's a mystery for another time. Agent Cody Banks, bitch. Frankie Muniz is a bad boy. And as we all know, Scooby-Doo. But forget about those basic bitch entry-level milquetoast baby boomer films. Weak! Weak! Number 10, Cats vs. Dogs. Now, gotta be honest, my memories are a little bit faint on this one. There's literally nothing I recall about this entire movie except one memory, and that memory is a dog dying. Dead in the street, Marley and Me style. The housebound hound, dead on the ground. I actually was looking this clip up, I found that the dog actually survives, and I don't think I knew this as a kid. I probably should have kept watching. I was a very soft soul. Regardless, I was just a dumb kid. That fake out death got me good. Enough to fuck me up emotionally for life. But it's like a famous dog once said. Fuck cats! Dusty, what's your language? Number 9, ironically, Cats in the Hat. It's a very strange thing to grow up with surrealist nightmare Mike Myers Cat in the Hat version instead of the animated or the original editions. I have a love-hate relationship with this movie. For every bit of nightmare fuel, there's a genuinely funny bit of improv. Is it a faithful adaptation of Dr. Seuss's work? No. In fact, I think he'd likely roll in his motherfucking grave.
Dirty hoe!
Why was I not more scared of this fucking thing as a kid? Because I definitely am now. I don't know, I think the clumsy, chaotic awkwardness is part of this movie's charm. This film is so dated. In terms of colour, production design, this world just gives and gives. It's a film of chaotic, surrealist mischief. Number 8, Looney Tunes, back in action. Maybe I was a little bit late to the Space Jam train. That was more a 2013 thing for me. But I remember renting Back in Action from the library more times than I could count. When it actually lets the characters be the characters and a skit be a skit, the movie's genuinely good, but there's so much obligatory 2000s kid film hijinks to get to those moments. Even though it's a Joe Dante film with a bunch of really cute cameos and Brendan Fraser's doughy face, this was my least favourite to revisit. For some reason there's also a Dalek in it, which, knowing me as a 10-year-old, probably helped. Number 7, I'm talking about Shrek 2. Despite how iconic the first Shrek might have been, it's a movie that's entirely dependent on how funny you find Mike Myers and Eddie Murphy's back and forth. Is it funny or endearing? No. To me, it was neither of those things. Shrek 2 amps it up, baby! A perfectly picked and intelligent soundtrack. Amazing battle scenes for like no reason at all. Adult jokes.
Catnip. That's no mine.
Yikes. And unironically, maybe the best finale in all cinema history. And yes, I did just say that about Shrek 2. Bite me. I'm an MA film student. Master of Arts, and I can say that. That said though, I do think there's a joke in this film about a character called Mongo. I'm wildly defensive and enthusiastic about this film to this date. Which was weird, because apart from this and Shrek karting, I didn't actually like the green fucker. How do you go from meme material to movie magic masterpiece? And David Bowie was involved in this movie. Here he is talking about his time on Shrek 2.
The song that I was asked to contribute to for Shrek 2 is a song of mine called Changes.
Yeah, we've heard of Changes, the late David Bowie. Thank you for contributing to this anomaly of a picture. Number 6, the time has come and let's talk about it. High School Musical 2. The best one. Now there's people out there, there's channels out there that think this movie is a joke. Yeah, but what if it was a joke, but also a very good teen movie? Unironically, I think High School Musical 2 might be the most consistently good musical I've ever seen. Sorry, theatre kids! Les Mis pales in comparison to Every Day, a song so good they went to heaven to film it. If it's been a couple years, something you may not remember from this movie is how endlessly off-the-wall fucking bonkers it is. No, really, this is a weird movie. Why have Chad and Ryan swapped clothes? Why is Sharpay even considered the villain of this movie? Why is Troy doing this on company time in full view of the golfers? And who let Zac Efron have this much fun? Yeah, the first film might be decade-defining, and the other one an actual impressive production value. But 2 is just so endlessly weird. It was always my favourite, even down to the killer songs. There is not one miss on this soundtrack. All things fabulous, I'm in the top 1%. Gay subtext, I'll show you how I swing. And the pinnacle of 2000s culture as we know it, bet on it. Thank you, Zach. You're an icon. You're a legend. You're a millennial legend. The moral of this movie is also touching, but complete nonsense the second you think about it. I don't care about my future aspirations. I care about what my friends think of me. That is no joke. A quote from High School Musical 2. It's the fucking moral! I love this movie, but that shit's questionable. Number 5. In preparation, I actually watched all of these again. As an adult, I love Johnny English. After watching the terrible, morbid sequel, I went back and prayed with my 22-year-old heart. Wasn't filled with the same grumpy subtext about foreigners and Frenchies. And there's a little bit of that, but mostly it's a funny man being funny in the funniest moment of his funny career. And it's joyful, and I was pissing myself like I did when I was 10 years old. Now if he'd just pay back his divorce settlements already and stop selling out his beloved childhood characters, that'd be pretty damn good too. Number 4, Spy Kids 3D, game over. Christ. This movie came with its own set of 3D glasses, and the movie told you when to put the 3D glasses on. I'm still a lover of gimmick cinema, and Spy Kids 3D is honestly way more impressionable than it had any right being. Even for today's standards, these films are still unique and impressive. Robert Rodriguez made a high-grossing kids film in his garage. He made a summer project with A-listers like Sylvester Stallone, Clooney, and Banderas. It's mental, and we ate it up because it was imaginative, colourful, and cheesy as hell. All of these movies didn't really speak down to kids, and I love them for that. This film's graphics might be outdated, hell, I think they were at the time, but there is nothing else like it. Number 3. From this point on, these last 3 in the list remain favourites even to this day. I carry them in my heart, and some of them are some of my favourites as an adult. Pokemon 3, Spell of the Unknown, is one of the best animated movies ever. And that's not an over-exaggeration. Spell of the Unknown's pretty well remembered for being different, and better than this series actually ever deserved. It's a demented fairy tale with Pokemon battles. The opening 5 minutes captures everything I love about the 2000s era of dubbed Americanizations. And it honest to God makes me feel like I'm 10 years old again. It's all the same excitement, all the same careless optimism. It's adventure, it's fun, it's pocket monster collecting, and I love it. But the film also does know when to get real. I am Papa. Also, one of the best anime villains of all time is a 7-year-old girl. Number 2, name your favourite Disney movie. You were wrong, it was Tarzan. As a wise Phil Collins once said, put your faith in what you most believe in towards one family. A paradise untouched by man. The level of craft and quality on display here is a Disney benchmark. I still think this is the most impressive film they've ever released. Not enough people give credit to the 2000s era of 2D animation. For only a few select movies, 2D animation hit its prime. And then, hey, remember Home on the Range? Unlike that movie, Tarzan actually uses this huge potential. Mature, perfect, and universal in appeal. Not even Phil Collins can date this. Did you know there's actually no dialogue in the first 15 minutes of the film? Just pure concentrated visuals with some Phil Collins in the background. And honestly, this film is so perfect and powerful, I'm not even sure it needed dialogue. It's gorgeous. And finally, number 1. Oh, you know what number 1 is. If you've seen my videos before and you know me, you know what number 1 is. Oh god, the Digivolution is up and come to see the kid. Did you know what's coming? Consider me thoroughly brainwashed. Digimon the movie is a time capsule. It is perhaps my favourite film in existence. Every song on the soundtrack is a bop of 2000s butt rock. Forced jokes give the film unintentional personality. This film would later turn out to be the prototype for my actual favourite movie, my adult favourite movie. Simply because the director of the movie wanted to make it again, and god I'm glad he did. But if you want the version with Smash Mouth, Digimon the movie is right there. I never owned Digimon the movie on DVD or video. I think I just rented the VHS from the library every other week. All of the stamps on the front were just me, over and over. I couldn't get enough of this movie, and it's still an annual watch. I have so many emotions and tidbits on this film that I'm actually probably going to save it for a feature-length commentary track. That will come in the future. Maybe. It's a movie where the main villain is defeated by internet spam, and it taught me the very crucial message that internet comments will fucking kill you. And there we go. Let me know some of your childhood favourite movies. See you next time for another obsolete, creatively bankrupt top 10 list. See you then.